Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news. Alpha 4.3.1, the September patch, is already out of Evocati and now in Wave 1 PTU. CIG want to get it out to more and more waves pretty quickly. We don't know when it's actually going to be released to live yet, but it could be as early as, I suppose, end of next week, but within the next couple of weeks is likely. There are some pretty major changes in the patch, and most of that is focused on MedGel, so a resource used for respawning. It's a medical respawn resource, is how CIG refer to it as. Basically, your medbeds on your ships, they require this MedGel stuff if you want to respawn there, if you want to have them heal actual injuries on your character. So this brand new med resource is purchased at medical facilities, and then you can, store it on your character, you can store it in your ship, you can put it wherever you want, but to make use of it, you have to actually physically insert it in a med bed. Then it's basically charged and ready to be used for a respawn. Then after you use it, you'll have to replace it basically, and the different tiers of medical beds will allow for different amounts of respawns before needing to be refilled because they have more capacity or because they'll be more efficient. I'm expecting there to be a reasonable level of iterative balance passes and tweaks made to this throughout the PTU, and based on players' feedback. When I was messing around with it, you would only get one respawn on a tier 3 bed before needing to replace it. But at the moment, if you don't have enough medical resource, if you don't have enough of the MedGel in your bed, you get sent to your home location instead when you die. Eventually, I believe that they want you to be able to make a choice based on your different potential respawns. There's a couple of medical articles from CIG now that I'll go over in the near future. So yeah, that's a pretty big change in that patch. The other testing focuses for the patch are stability and bug fixes, the Onyx facilities part 3, the science wing, although it's only part of that in at the moment. More of that's going to be coming later in the PTU. And there's also drop ships and watchtowers. Not ready for testing and feedback yet. There's a few different things, either because they haven't got all the features in, or because they're just trying to focus on other bits, or they're only partially implemented, or whatever. Is the AI FPS turrets, additional hairstyles and beards, Volt LMG Fresnel, which I believe can be found in the new wing, and the bearing laser cannon archery factors. We're also waiting for things like the Apollo to turn up, which is one of the reasons they've got all these new medical changes. One of the things I'm thinking that medical changes will allow as well is for you to go to medical facilities like at the Stormbreaker, potentially at the Onyx facilities, and put MedGel in there and then respawn there, at least in the future. So some of these features: Onyx facilities. The Onyx facilities used for the new investigation missions in 4.3 have been expanded to include mission content beyond the previous release. This continues after completing the original drop missions with a new mission that delves you further into their story. As I said, it's not fully implemented yet. You can't get everywhere. There's because eventually you'll be able to get to Dr. Droid's lab. There might be a boss fight. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Dropships and watchtowers. Dropships have been re-implemented into the PU in Pyro. So basically, various outposts at Pyro will have sort of watchtowers, and dropships will come down and reinforce areas, especially when their population is reduced by a certain amount. If you go to all the watchtowers, though, and disable the terminals there, bam, no dropships will spawn. There's also missions to disable those terminals at watchtowers as well. At time of release, Star Citizen Alpha 4.3.1 contains over 110 bug fixes for recent issues, including 17 that originated from the Issue Council, 4 of which have already been hotfixed into Alpha 4.3. I did see a post on the sort of feedback section from a player about MedGel and the new medical gameplay, which I want to read and sort of talk about. The active spawning should be the most frictionless part of any online game. It's how you begin, continue, and end each play session. Keep that in mind. Medical resources for respawning are overall a positive step for the game, but I don't think they're being utilised correctly. In my opinion, a few things need to change to make this work out better. The price of the gel needs to drastically be reduced. A player who is naked can fly a Gladius, which has a claim timer of around 4 to 5 minutes. and costs around 4,000 to 5,000 Alpha UEC to pull. This is indefinitely more useful than a soldier respawning on the ground from an Urza, which can be easily discovered, and even more easily destroyed. That doesn't add up. Also consider this, all ships respawn with ordnance, including explosives, which are more useful than a soldier. The cost dynamics of this make no sense. The amount of respawns generated per load of gel needs to be increased, not 1 to 1, perhaps 5 to 1 or 10 to 1, and the high quality beds should be far more efficient. For example, a tier 1 bed should get 50 spawns out of it maybe from a single load of gel, whereas a tier 3 might only get you 15. You get the idea. You should always be generous with spawn options in game. The act of loading and replenishing the gel needs to be as frictionless as possible. Having ships capable of holding these canisters be reloaded or refueled the same way we do quantum and hydrogen fuel would be a good addition. Also, having the medical beds automatically pull the gel that is in the ship's reserves would also be helpful. Having to constantly load and unload would be tedious and silly, and all serious PvP encounters will require one person to sit around and be the goo boy, loading canisters constantly. That's not great gameplay. Medical vehicles should be claimed with full medical resources to spawn. Hands down, factor in the price to claim time if you must. As it stands right now, hardly anyone uses medbeds for anything other than running bunkers. Anyone telling you that they're being zerged down is an absolute liar. None of these things are happening. I've been advocating for a respawn resource since early 2023. I always feared it would be done too heavy-handed, and I've been proven correct. Reduce the cost, work on the efficiency of spawns per load, and make the refill process as easy as possible, and the system will be much better. So, I wanted to bring up what they had said there. I don't agree with all of it, but there were certainly some good bits in there. Yes, I do think the efficiency of medbeds is important. I'm actually okay with respawning being particularly expensive as well. If you want to spawn proximate to your ship, if you want to spawn from your medbed, because you'll have choices in the future to spawn from like medical facilities, right? The poster there was talking about zerging. Now, to some degree, I think people could zerg and have zerged things. It might not happen particularly regularly or as regularly as other people say it does, but I don't want sort of ships and vehicles to just be a zerg fest. I do not want people to be able to constantly spawn. 50 spawns out of a tier 1 medbed without having to change the gel seems hugely excessive. So yes, more efficient. And I don't think you'd have to have a goo boy either, because you could literally have someone, when they respawn, replace the MedGel if they needed to. I think one of the major things is that we're only getting some of the systems for medical gameplay here, and they're going to be expanding more in the future. Being able to choose respawn location, stuff like that is going to be super important. But yeah, medical resource I think is a big positive step towards getting Star Citizen where I want it. I don't mind it being expensive. Yes, I do want different efficiencies out of beds, and respawning should be pretty frictionless, but not excessive. And I don't think it would be tedious and silly to reload those canisters unless you are zerging, which you do want to avoid. I mean, I'm not even sure if I want tier 3 beds to be able to respawn people, but I suppose it's fine if they do. It just, yeah, they'll be particularly inefficient at it. Please tell me what you think about the current medical gameplay that CIG have put into 4.3.1 and what you'd like them to build towards. We'll talk more about this a lot more as I cover some more of the new medical documentation, as well the sort of plans that CIG currently have. Something else I do want to quickly mention in this video is the RSI Apollo. I believe there's been a sneak peek of the newsletter for the sort of pilot seat area there, the controls for that. We are getting the Apollo Triage and the Medivac in Alpha 4.3.1, and I'm very much looking forward to testing that ship out. At some point when we can charge people for respawning in these ships or whatever, then yeah, super excited for that, because I will run it as a little doctor's surgery. Thanks very much for watching. Tell me if you're playing Alpha 4.3.1 on the PTU now, what you think of all of that new stuff, what you're hoping to see. Are you excited for the Apollo? Do you not care about the medical gameplay? Which direction do you hope medical gameplay goes, if you do care about it? Something else you should care about as well is getting yourself some nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, or you could just go to the links down below. Click on the one to NordVPN. Get yourself a huge discount on that, and you get a VPN with better security, accessibility, and privacy on the interwebs. I use NordVPN. You'll love it. I love it. Wow. Oh, it's amazing. Bam. Click all the buttons. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for this month of September we are giving away an RSI Apollo Triage, a medium-sized flying medical clinic. It also comes with lifetime insurance and access to Star Citizen with a game package. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month of September. If you would like to further support the channel, please remember to like, share, subscribe, watch my other videos on the channel for everything Star Citizen related. There's a load of useful links below as well to a load of stuff that I support or support me in some way with like NordVPN and all that sort of jazz, Game Glass, loads of cool stuff. But also, you could clickety-click on the join button under my videos to help support the channel even more by giving a little bit of money. Oh, isn't that good? Get a load of exclusive little bonuses as well. Or you can use Patreon to do pretty much the same thing, whatever you fancy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great September, and I'll see you in the verse.